Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining Michael and I for our final review of the final episode of fucking Sense8.
Final 2 episodes rolled into one.
Yeah, I've already afterthought. Whatever. So, anyway, thank you for joining us. If you're first starting to listen, please subscribe to iTunes. Go on there and rate us. Look for us on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, Instagram. You can write to us, request to us, concern to us at boobtubebuddies@gmail.com. If you're feeling, slightly generous, please head over to our Patreon page. Even 10 cents does something. I think it's like that to run an ad on
We gotta
Reddit,
find something that people get for subscribing on Patreon. Like
Yeah.
you subscribe on Patreon.
I have one. If you subscribe on Patreon and you head over to Blue Apron and do blueapron.com/boobtubebuddies or BTB, you get $30 off.
That seems wrong.
Does it?
I'm sure you get it.
Those are 2 actions that do actually happen.
They are. That is
Just
true.
put them together.
One is not a causality of the other, though. But no, like I was thinking, like if we did it,
My phone's not
like
broken.
we could have somebody like send us like some pictures and or like some details about their life, and we could do like a 5-minute podcast about them. I'm not saying we would do that, but that would be
awesome. Who doesn't love themselves?
Cool. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know. I do 5-minute podcasts about myself like every day.
5-minute day in the life of.
Yeah, you think I
love
bitch
that
a lot
idea.
now? You should hear me when I talk about myself.
Oh my
it's
god,
very
you're
negative.
like the big crab from Moana.
Yeah, it's very negative.
He's like, just ask him about himself. Yeah. But he does it in song form, and that's what I hear we're gonna get from you tonight.
Oh, don't spoil
You want to
it.
go ahead and do it?
You jump
Sum
right
it up?
in, sum it up in a tweet. We can do that. But just so you know, we are covering Better Call Saul still. That's wrapping up. American Gods has got one more episode. Fargo is wrapping up. So a lot of what we're doing is wrapping up. But
Well, we're about to do Orange is the New Black, me and
Right.
Bethany, and then Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks is going strong. House of Cards is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're less than a month out now. Well, exactly a month out from
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones, I guess. So that all is going to be exciting. But yeah, we can jump right into summing it up in a tweet.
Oh yeah, we're summing it up, so summing it up, summing it up. Oh yeah, we're summing it up. Oh yeah, we're summing it up, so summing it up, summing it up and up.
Tweet.
You go ahead and go first because mine's somewhat special.
All right. Well, mine's not. I can tell you that. I feel unsatisfied, unfulfilled. If I could charge Netflix for breaking my heart, they'd be billed. The best thing to come of the sensorium cycle was getting to podcast with my new BFF, Michael.
Yay!
Yay!
That's good. I like it when it's about me. Okay,
You want to donate to our Patreon?
So mine is summed up in a song. It's a very short song. People heard me try and hum a REM song with Mothman on something we did, and it was horrible. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I didn't write it
Humming's
down.
awful, though.
I am a much worse hummer than I thought I was.
Me too.
Like all my life, I've been like, "Don't you recognize that song?" Wah, 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 wah.
It's the
Like,
hardest
no,
thing.
I don't recognize it at all. I'm like,
Nobody
God,
gets
people,
it. I hate
people are
humming.
deaf. Okay. I should do it like pa 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 pa.
It's perfect.
Goodbye, Sense8 team. Yeah, we really love the show. Even though you gave us bug, we're still sad to see you go. And that is summing it up in a song. All right, so let's go ahead and get down to the business of
The end.
the end.
Okay, so I'm gonna miss. First of all, I'm gonna miss Riley's dad singing "Teenage Wasteland"
I
sporadically
know.
throughout the seasons.
Yeah, the little things I'm gonna miss.
Yeah, but okay. So anyway, I'm gonna be pretty much a curmudgeon through this whole thing
It's all right.
because I finally finished this season and
Yeah, I know. I told you were gonna be angry.
I was.
So we could just like move through the plot points, and then we can do like break for an ad, and then just kind of do our final thoughts.
That's fine.
So basically, in episode 10, which is if all the world's a stage, identity is nothing but a costume.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't think they said this in the episode.
They did.
Oh, did they?
They did, because I thought it was like, wasn't that a quote? And then I realized it was the name of the title of the thing.
Who
But
said
I don't.
Was it Mark Jacobs?
No.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But we open with Riley. She's flying back, and
she's with Kala.
Yeah, Will's full beard because his dad's dead. But it was like a nice scene with Riley and Kala, and this is finally like bittersweet because the show Kala starts moving in the right direction.
Finally, not complaining. She spent 2 seasons complaining about being confused, and now she's doing stuff.
Yeah, she's finally like, okay, we need to do this. We need to get together with Wolfie, and he's like, I'll come to India, and she's like, no, you can't come to my city. She's like, I'll come to Berlin. He's like,
no, he can't come to Berlin. He definitely cannot come to Berlin. But she, that was where, pretty much he says, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right, type of thing. That's pretty much what he says to her in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And she says that she's going to tell Rajan, and they're going to meet somewhere else. They're going to find their own place.
Yeah, and fate has a strange way of helping them out.
Yeah. How convenient. And kind of really fucked up.
Yeah. But, and then she has a little conversation with Riley, too, where Riley's like, I'd be curious. Like, she's like, let me ask you something. She's like, oh, yeah, I'd be curious, too. The sex is great. Blah, 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 blah. So that moves along.
Blah, blah, blah.
Will is, like we said, full beard.
Back to heroin. Back on the smack.
Yeah, and his memory of Angelica is telling him, yeah, you got to get on that smack. It's the only way.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's like a terrible mom.
I mean, Jonas and Angelica set the worst examples as Sense8 parents. One of them's like, get fucking wasted, almost kill yourself. And one of them's like, no, actually just kill yourself with a gun.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who had good parents. Like, Will's dad is a drunk, but he was a cop, so...
Kala.
A little bit... Kala's parents are great.
Kala has the best parents.
Rajan's parents are horrible.
Awful people. Amanita... Progressive.
Nomi's parents are terrible.
Yeah, her dad pulled it out.
Moment of redemption. Son's parents, her mom's dead.
But amazing.
Her dad was kind of a dick. Yeah,
too little, too late.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
I wonder what will happen.
Wah, wah, wah. But actually, I think more importantly, these final 2 episodes are all about like Sun.
The big ball.
Yeah. And so we kind of get into that, where she's getting prepared for it.
Getting prepared for the ball.
At the same time that Lito's...
Cinderella style.
Yeah, at the same time that Lito's like on his big casting thing in Hollywood. And
she needs to make a sidecar.
She needs to make a sidecar, and he needs to do his lines. And he blows... And first of all, I like Andy Dick.
Yes.
It's a nice little thing.
Let's talk about Kit Wrangler is Andy Dick. And he's stuck an Oscar up his ass.
Yeah. But do you know who his casting director was?
Carmen Cuba?
It was.
Really?
I was so happy. Like, because we talked about that in the first season. I was like, oh, she finally got in the show for a couple.
That's awesome. She's cute.
Yeah, she is cute.
Yeah. Hey, I had a question real quick. So, if you're the casting director in the beginning, you stay the casting director throughout an entire TV series? Because what I'm wondering is when Amal Amin left, did she find the new Capheus, or...
I'm sure she probably did.
You think so?
I mean, she's this involved in the show at this stage.
At that stage, yeah.
But absolutely. I don't think it's like a universal rule. I'm sure they switch casting directors.
Yeah, but in this one, she specifically probably did.
She only had to do it for 2 seasons.
I know, right?
Yeah. But so he doesn't do his lines so well because he's distracted because Sun needs him. And then he's like, all right, 1 second. And he goes in there.
And flares it up.
Flares it up.
Sexiest
drink you ever seen made.
Pretty much. Still pulling for the Lido show.
And then, Sun does his lines because they suit her because she is alone. It's about being alone and this and that. It's really sad and moving. And then you realize that it doesn't really matter. It
doesn't really matter.
It's all nihilistic at this point.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Then we have the party at that was definitely the house they used in Wolf on Wall Street.
That's what I was thinking. I was going to ask. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, that's the first thing I thought. I was like...
Yeah, and they do like weird pseudo cameos. Like I think when they walk in...
Mark Jacobs was weird.
Well, he's real.
No, I know.
Yeah, but they did like Lady Gaga.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, like right when they walk in, they do somebody who I thought was supposed to be Lady Gaga.
Oh, really?
And then there's like
back and watch.
pseudo Johnny Depp at the bar.
See, I was by the time I got to this episode, I was already like,
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of the Johnny Depp thing, but whatever.
I want to go back and watch that now.
Yeah, and so they meet Mark Jacobs, who's the fashion director for the movie. I don't know who his boyfriend was. Like, I think that's somebody because I recognize his face, but I'm not sure who it is.
Oh, the guy who I don't recognize.
The
him.
younger guy with the baseball
you recognize
hat.
him?
He's somebody, but I don't. Maybe he's his real life boyfriend, and I've seen him together at like Fashion Week or something.
Yeah,
but I don't know. But they basically stripped Leto down to his.
I mean, I'm sure that does happen.
Does it?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Who cares?
Yeah, they strip him down, they redress him, and suddenly
I'm really sorry to anybody that's listening.
he's Geordie.
We're horrible, but now he's Geordie Gallo officially.
Yeah, and then he meets his co-star. I know it jumps to somewhere else in there. Oh,
yeah, Capheus and Leto.
He's heading to his
It
rally.
really isn't me. They're both in different costumes. You know, identity is a costume.
But then they meet Blake Huntington, who's like a 3-time Academy
Oh my
Award winner.
God, you know who that is, right?
No, who is it?
You don't?
No.
Cheyenne Jackson. He was in American Horror Story, Glee. He's been in a bunch of stuff, actually.
Keep naming stuff, because I have seen nothing so far of what you've
I
mentioned.
can't remember the other stuff. I know he's been in other stuff, and I've seen it.
Yeah, the only person I know from Glee is the kid that plays the Flash. Oh, and the girl I don't like.
Supergirl?
No, the dark-haired girl.
Leah Michelle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a
You
big fan.
sound like Peter Griffin
Yeah.
when he said
Is
that.
Supergirl from
Yeah.
that? Was Supergirl on Glee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've watched a little bit of Supergirl. It's terrible.
Did you know that
It's
the
terrible.
guy who plays the Flash, Grant Gustin, his girlfriend is Beyonce's only like blonde white dancer.
Is it?
So if you look at all of her videos, she's the one that sticks out, but she's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But as soon as I found that, I had like stalk her Instagram and stuff, and that was amazing. Cool story.
But I guess we'll just finish the Leto part of this thing. So
Yeah.
So he and Hernando, he has to get out of the party because it's too much for him,
Mm-hmm.
and then him and Hernando have a
Here to eternity
Eternity moment.
moment. I actually
in like super speedos.
loved that scene.
Like I have a theory that is the kind of underwear that
Probably.
Mexican men wear, and I don't know why that is.
Probably.
And it felt like weird, like my I don't know, my underwear bigotry was being
I thought you were going to
supported.
say like you got a chub or something. I don't know.
No.
Unfortunately
I
not.
mean, they're very, very attractive men.
I did. I definitely got one.
But,
Most definitely.
but from there we go back to Capheus, and he's riding to his rally. He gives
This was a great scene.
It is, and he gives a really good speech. And I like
great
that.
speech.
I like how nervous he was. Like I think that guy is actually good at like being nervous.
Well, it's funny that you say that because like it finished that and then actually restarted over. And it was going on in the background, and I came into the living room today and I was like, it's weird now seeing this guy as Capheus, going back and watching the original guy.
Yeah.
And I could almost like imagine what the current Capheus's reactions would have been, and honestly, it would have been just as fine, I guess.
Probably.
I really liked how they wrote for Capheus this season. So I think
I'd
it
agree.
really helped me liking the character itself and the transition, I guess.
Definitely. But then whatever.
It's a trap!
Oh, shit, I thought I wrote something funny there. Oh, but it's a trap. It goes downhill. Will tries to help, but he's
Too fucked up.
He's too fucked up.
He is way too fucked up. He's like, ah.
Yeah.
It's awful. But he does it just in time to tell him that the dude who's supposed to be his guard is actually not, and he's able to kind of start fighting him off. But what's so funny is I had in like 5 different lines his name written as Primetime, and I'm like, nope, it's
Superpower.
Like his name's not Primetime.
That's a pretty good one too, though.
I would have loved if he called himself Primetime.
But
Superpower actually ends up being the one to save him.
Yeah, he blows that guy's brains out. Then he gets a car and he blows the guy's brains out of the car. But when they kick him out of the car, and this kind of stuff always bothers me, like the guy falls out of the car who's been shot in the head, but luckily he falls with his arms down.
Oh, yeah.
He falls with his hands out. I'm like, it's so bad when they do that sort of stuff.
$10 million an episode, and you guys can't get a guy to just fall like a dead person.
Yeah, but as they're running, the whole cluster shows up in Will's room. It's like, hey, that was bad. Like Riley's like, that was not good.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Shave your beard, get your shit together.
Yeah, and that's basically what I put. I was like, yeah, get your shit together, Will.
Seriously. And Capheus is like, I was really, really angry when my dad died too.
Right.
I wish it would have been like, but I could have died, bro.
Yeah, but, right. Nobody else's life depended on me.
That's interesting to know, though, that it's obvious. It's an obvious answer, but the fact that when one of them is really fucked up and they go to visit and help, they can't really do it because they're so inebriated in a certain way.
Well, that was what I was thinking. Was it that they were affected by Will, or that Will kept barging in and knocking them out of the way to try and help? So because Sun's in there, and that sounds like a situation that she could handle.
Yeah.
And she's gets knocked out, and then Will's back in there. I was wondering if he's so belligerent that he's just kind of forcing himself back in and pushing the other ones to the side.
Probably. That makes more sense.
I mean, really though, it doesn't matter
at all.
But then
when it really comes down to it, it doesn't fucking matter.
Capheus escapes, and Superpower's like, yeah, our story's not done yet. I've got big plans.
And, that just makes me sad. Because Superpower had big plans. You and I had big plans. Superpower Hour. Yeah.
Superpower Power Hour.
That would be... There you go, another spinoff.
Yeah.
The Superpower Hour. The Van Damme and Superpower Hour.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then it goes to Sun getting ready for her big party. And that's really the end of that episode. And then the final episode, you want a war or you want a really sad ending? Disappointing ending? Disappointing. Yeah.
Because I think if there was another season, I'd still be disappointed with that season finale.
Yeah, but you'd be eager.
Yes, I would be eager.
Because something that we've been waiting for finally happens, except for one person, and that one person is your favorite person.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I was like, because at first I thought they had him and not Jonas.
Yeah.
And then I went to rewind it and just
That's
make
what
sure.
I thought too.
And I was like, motherfucker.
I thought there was going to be some switcheroo in there. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So basically, the final
I don't
episode
care.
is basically two main things. First, it's the Sun's party.
Did you think this kind of went on a little too long?
It was a little too long.
It was 30 minutes and you've got an hour show. I'm not saying I didn't want to see all of that.
Yeah, but it was abnormally focused on.
Yeah, it was I went when I went back to take some extra notes, it was 30 minutes in until it ended.
Yeah, especially the chase scene took a long while, but basically the police show up, that detective that she's been fighting shows up.
If they got married, her name would be Sun Moon.
Would it?
Yeah, because his name's Detective Moon. His last name's Moon, and her first name's Sun.
Oh. Nice. Yeah.
There could have been something to that.
Yeah, that's way to notice shit that doesn't matter anymore. You're occasionally impressive.
Just like this show.
But then, shit goes downhill. He gets shot when he tries to arrest Junki. And he's like, oh, my sister's here.
Oh, I love that, where he's like, it's her. And then all of a sudden he runs out and he's like, oh, fuck, it's her.
Yeah.
He looks like he's about to piss himself. It's so great. But my favorite part of this, and you know what it is.
I don't.
Or what?
The Kala thing?
That's not my fully favorite part, because there's 3 favorite parts I have in this whole thing.
Okay, go ahead.
One of 3. That's one of 3.
Go.
So they're all trying to culminate an idea, following him into the parking garage on how they're going to approach it and how they're going to get him. And as they're trying to do it, Kala keeps repeating herself that she has an idea. And finally, she gets the gun and she just starts shooting haphazardly throughout the parking garage, or at least it seems so. And they all get below the car. I'm saying this to you like you've never seen this.
No, you're talking to the 50,000 people who have listened to Boob Tube Buddies.
And pretty much when they get down by the car, all the guys are like, why did you think that would work? Like, are you crazy, bitch? Pretty much.
Yeah.
And what did Wolfie say to her first? We're like, it's not like a movie.
Right.
Like, you silly woman
Yeah.
with your silly lady brain.
Cars don't explode like
and
that.
then she's like, no, it's the angle and the fuel and everything. And then the car blows up and he says, well, that was sexy or something like that.
Yeah.
Or that was a turn on.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
Yeah. That was, did you say that was hot?
That was hot.
Because there was a pun in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the car exploded.
Oh. Why didn't I get that?
I don't know. You should have gotten that.
I must be sick or something.
That or I'm misquoting and we just...
No, that was hot.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That
That should have been our summing it up in a tweet.
Yeah.
You don't even deserve rhymes or songs or full sentences. It's just, it doesn't matter. Before we finish the whole thing, do you want to talk about Blue Apron or...
No, we'll get to
Audible?
it.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah, no, we'll do it after this, and then we'll do our final thoughts on everything.
Oh, good call.
So those were two things, right? Mm-hmm. What was your third thing?
Probably her walking up really slowly.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait. No, hold on. Wait, is that...
Well, let me tell you my two favorite things of this, because I
it-
think mine probably are between your first two and your third one.
Is it the... I don't remember if it's that part, though. Is it where Leto talks to Bug? Or is that later?
I think it's later, maybe. But okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you excited about that. But one of my favorites... Right, it is later because it's when they start taking over the traffic cams.
Okay.
So she's chasing her brother in the car, and I thought this should have been the name of the episode. But he looks in the thing, he's like,
"Oh, that was so great!"
He's like, "My sister's the fucking Terminator."
That was such a great.
I was like,
fucking
that
line.
should have been the name of the episode.
Yes, seriously, especially with how long they spent on it, that would be amazing.
It was great because by now she's torn off the outfit. What did I put down? I said hot pants, hot pursuit. she's chasing with sparkly hot pants and patent leather white shoes. So it's like really funny visuals. And then he crashes and she's got that rebar and she's walking up to him. And
I liked the whole handoff, like when it went from Nomi to then it went to Capheus to driving, and then
on the motorcycle
when she needed the weapon, then it was Wolfie.
Yeah, and then she decides not to kill Junki. The cops arrest her.
Yeah,
and then they're like, "Well, we can't let her take her back to jail because they're going to kill her for sure." Mm-hmm. And so that's when Bug. Well, Bug doesn't say it, right?
No, it's whatever.
Does Nomi say it?
No, well, Leto shows up and Nomi says it. Who are we? We're justice, motherfucker.
Oh.
And because Nomi says, who are we? Leto comes in and says, justice, motherfucker. But then it's like Nomi ending the sentence.
Yeah.
And Bug's like, that's from, what's it called? Root of All Evil.
Yeah.
And then that Leto smile where he's like, it doesn't have the best lines, but...
Yeah.
Or it wasn't the best movie, but does it have some good lines?
But they get a big car accident to take the police van down, and they escape. And basically from there, we see Nomanita, because we want to wrap the stories up. So Nomanita, they actually get kind of a happy ending in the whole thing. Like, they propose to one another.
Can we talk? Okay. I literally just put neats.
Neats.
So I love how they did this because Amanita's ring was pretty. Mm-hmm. But it was definitely more humble. And then all of a sudden, Nomi brings out this ring, and it's like
it was
a rock.
Yeah.
And it was like very obvious differences in rings, but not like differently styled, like different money-wise. Like,
right.
It was very blatant. And I was like, why would they do that to her? Like, just have two things that are similar that represent both girls, not like, I don't know. That's such a girl thing to look at, but...
Well, no, but it is funny because once Amanita opens her ring and Nomi sees it, it's like, oh, well, let me top that bitch. Why not just, like, accept the thing and say, oh, yes, I say yes, and be happy and be like, I really don't want to embarrass her with my super nice ring.
Yeah, or they could have just done a good job and switched the rings. The people, like the set people, like that's gonna be your ring. That's gonna be your ring. You open this first, and then you open this.
Right. I mean, come on, white privilege.
That's true.
But
that is true.
So they're gonna
Family
get married. Capheus gets back from being hijacked, and he meets 4 African sensates.
Yes.
Which is interesting if there was any future, but really it doesn't matter.
No, it was really cool because they were, yeah, exactly. Because again, it doesn't matter. But they were interested in him already, but once they found out that he was running for political office, they thought he was either crazy or trying to hunt BPO. And you're right. I would have loved to see what that was, but it doesn't matter.
We should have like the part Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, nothing really matters. So Rajan's home, and she's gonna tell him about her and Wolfie and how they want to fuck all the time, and she's like done with them.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen because Rajan
thinks that present we saw a couple episodes is a bomb.
Yeah, and
it is the bomb.
.com.
Beautiful jade. Vishnu.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. It doesn't
matter. Let's just be super offensive on everything Sense8 because it doesn't matter.
We've been very PC up till now.
And the message is, like, what's so funny is the Sense8 message is love. And we're just spewing hatred right now.
Love. It doesn't matter.
Well, love didn't fucking work for us, did it? Because you went ahead and canceled the show anyway. It doesn't matter. So Rajan's actually working with the police.
Right, he's gone to the police. That sleazy Ajay's in on it. I wonder if his dad was supposed to be on it, but it doesn't matter. But like he's like, I got to get you out of here. I'm gonna send you to Paris. I'm like, come on, Wolfie and Kala in Paris. Now this is not fair to me.
It's not fair to me.
It's my favorite city in the world. I know I haven't been to all of them, but Paris is my hometown by proxy.
I got really upset.
I really wanted to see that.
Me too.
God.
Me fucking too.
But then Son and Riley, or Son gets saved. Like
this was hilarious though.
By Puck.
This was so funny. What the fuck?
Miraculously happens to be in South Korea, and I'm not sure why.
But looks exactly like Riley.
Yeah, he's got the hair. He's got the blue hair, yeah.
No, but now he doesn't just have the blue hair. He's got it bleached down to the exact bob she has. Yeah. And the blue hair exactly where she does. And I love later where Will's like, what's up with the hair? And Riley's like, yeah, seriously, what's up with the hair? And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. That was probably one of my favorite parts of that season. Yeah, it was. Series finale, not season.
It ended up being funny. And actually that hotel room that Son is in is probably where my favorite parts of this season took place.
Yeah, right? Oh, with Leto and...
Yeah. But then, like, Kala and Wolfie are packing.
Moon's not dead, by the way, but that doesn't matter.
He's not dead?
No, remember at the end they said there was a cop injured, and then Riley's like, oh, well, he's not dead. But it doesn't matter.
I didn't notice.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He might as well be.
No, but they're packing, and then Leela shows up in Wolfgang's room, and then so does BPO.
No, hold on. Can we not bypass the fact that they told each other they loved each other?
Did they?
Yes.
Okay.
See, I went into that when they did that, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to accept this ending, and at least I got to hear them tell each other that they loved each other, and that something was super hot all in one episode. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I don't want to steal your thunder, but...
It doesn't matter.
So they take Wolfgang...
Is that what we should call this podcast, this episode? Sense8 series finale - it doesn't matter?
Call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. So they got Wolfgang, and Whispers is torturing them, trying to locate the others. And, they begin to, and, like, it's really bloody.
It gets really bloody.
Yeah, like they're shocking them with paddles. Taser? Yeah, and they're the defib machine.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about the taser when they got him, but then they put him in where like Raul was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're tracing his cluster, and I would think like all those people are collapsing on the ground. How do they stay out of the hospital? Like I thought that when Kala collapsed too earlier in the season, and I'm like, why did she go to the hospital? And she went to the hospital. Why didn't BPO get her? But you know,
Because that doesn't work for their storyline.
right, and you know, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So
But-
Will shows up. This was a cool
Will
scene.
shows up, and what actually ends up happening is like
I liked this
they
scene.
all end up in London.
Yeah.
So finally, after 2 seasons, 7 of them are together physically.
It's like canceling half of Game of Thrones, like where you wait seasons for people to finally get together.
Yeah.
And they're like, they cancel it right now.
Right. And
Oh, there would be a riot.
And the only one that isn't with them is Wolfgang, because
Because he's with me.
Right. Right.
That's what I choose to believe.
But they do get whispers. They get Jonas.
But I do want to talk about this cool, it doesn't matter, but can we just talk about it and pretend like there's something going to happen? Because I did love the part where he's like, I can't visit you. And he's like, well, that's because I'm right here. And starts
Oh,
beating
yeah,
the
it
shit
was
out of
very
him.
cool, yeah.
I love that. I'm like, yeah.
It was a great moment up until a week ago. 2
Yeah.
weeks ago, yeah. But now it.
Oh, you were super stoked back then. I'm
was.
glad I haven't watched it then.
I was super
I would have
excited.
been so pissed.
But even like the ending of the season, knowing it was going to be a cliffhanger that was probably going to be at best a year and a half away.
Yeah.
I was like, Kristen's going to be pissed when she gets to the
well,
final episode.
yeah.
Yeah, because Wolfie's the only one who you really don't get an answer to this season. And
Exactly.
I'm like, wah, wah.
Look, and then you would think that like going into season 3, Hernando and Danielle is gonna find out right away, and that's the one thing I really wish that we could have seen happen, and should have happened probably a lot sooner.
Them telling everybody.
Well, Lido telling Hernando and Daniela.
Right.
I would have liked to have seen more than just Amanita know. Like Bug knew before Hernando, and I hated that.
Yeah, I assume that they all know by now, except for like Rajan and everything. Like I kind of assume like when he said we have to go to London, I'm like, I'm going to assume that he has to tell them now. Like they have to be let in on this as to why.
Well, yeah, he said I'll tell you everything. It's
Yeah.
just
So,
it doesn't matter because we'll never see it.
It doesn't matter.
So, anyway, pretty much they're trying to get Jonas to pick a side because they need his help, and he picks the wrong side, calls the chairman and tells them that there is an emergency at the Parliament facility. And I do love this because knock, knock, it's son motherfucker. He's like, oh, fuck. He gets knocked out. They still whispers. They ride into the night of London, and it doesn't matter.
Season over, series over, and enjoy this. You know what does matter?
What matters?
The ad you're about to hear.
Okay.
They always say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And that is why this Boob Tube Betty is such a Blue Apron buddy. Without the helping hand of my dear friend Blue Apron, I would never be able to prepare these incredible meals from scratch. Go to www.blueapron.com/BTB and sign up for $30 off your very first order. For many months now, I have impressed, Blue Apron has impressed all of my gentlemen suitors. Listen, they don't need to know that Blue Apron did all the heavy lifting. Again, don't forget to visit www.blueapron.com/BTB to save a little money as well as time. Thanks, little buddies.
And we're back.
Oh my god, I don't know why. You told me 5 more seconds and I still got scared. I don't know why. You want a war?
I don't know.
No.
So just in memoriam.
Yeah, in sensorium memoriam.
It's so nice. That's it sounded up in a tweet right there. What was your favorite part of the show?
I mean, Lido. And
Yeah.
Wolfie.
Yeah.
Visually and girly, sexy wise, Wolfie. Everything else, Lido.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss most of all. I'm gonna miss the Lido part of it. That was great. And I think I'm gonna miss the Will and Riley second.
I probably will too.
Because I think one of the things I take away from the whole thing is what a good actor Brian Smith actually is, and that's something I didn't know.
I want to go back and watch those Gossip Girl episodes.
Oh yeah, you did say that, right?
Yeah, he's like in 6 episodes because he plays like the ex-boyfriend or the current boyfriend or whatever of Ivy, and like what's so funny is like I thought he was just a bit crappy side actor, and he like got me like choked up way too many times. As still of that scene in the airplane.
Yeah, you're right. I was really blown away by him. I hope we get to see
Something soon.
Something from Lido around the
yeah.
corner. I know that your guys got a movie coming out with Teresa Palmer called The Berlin Syndrome.
Okay.
I don't know how they're reviewing it, but you know who she is?
I've heard the name, but
She was in Warm Bodies.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. She's a pretty good little actress. You know, it was a good cast. It was well put together. There were some goofy characters that you didn't like. But overall, man, it was a really good show.
It was a great show, and like you said, last episode or 2 episodes ago, like, if we could do, like, a movie, what would you say? Not a comic book, a graphic novel?
Yeah.
Something along those
Just
lines.
do a 2-hour movie.
A 2-hour movie that kind of just satisfies us, because it's probably going to cost you, like, what, 3 episodes?
All they got to do from here on out is take down BPO. That's all they got to do, and happily ever after. It doesn't have to be great.
Exactly.
But
Netflix is not going to do that.
they're not going to do that. The
HBO, man.
my favorite moment though will be that damn room with Lido in the pajamas with Sun and the kitty pillows.
That was probably the best.
Yeah, I'll carry that with me until I forget about it.
Until I forget about it. Like they've forgotten about us.
Yep. But that's the thing. Appreciate it while you got it on Netflix, because here's the thing is that they're so aggressive right now and with their programming that this is going to happen to a lot of programs. Even like programs that people like their push. Somebody was talking about it the other day on a radio show I listened to, how they're having to cancel good shows to meet like what their view of what they want Netflix to be in the next like decade. So like they're trying to get to all this original programming in like a certain way, and I can't explain it because I wasn't paying close enough attention. But when I heard it, it's like, oh, that makes sense. Even though I kind of think it sucks that they had to cancel the show now.
Yeah.
But like they don't care too much about public opinion. They have something bigger in mind. So while ratings matter,
I don't know if that's the best way to approach it.
well, it's not. But like they've got a target audience, and if the target audience that they want to have isn't watching the shows, they're going to focus on the shows that their target audience is watching. Mm-hmm. And so they're planning on what that audience that they want is going to grow into.
Gotcha.
So it's weird, but it makes it makes good sense, I guess. It just sucks that you're going to lose shows that you like, while shows like OA, which is fucking horrible, is getting another season.
I watched the first 2 episodes and I didn't watch the rest.
But we're not here to review OA.
Ah, fuck no.
We're just here to tell you that nothing matters.
Anyone can see.
Nothing really matters.
To me.
All right, guys.
All right.
It was fun.
It was fun doing this with you.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Hey, even though this is over, can we still be friends?
I don't know.
All right. We'll see.
Yeah. You gotta like weird stories about dead bodies in tubs.
I love weird stories about dead bodies in tubs. It's on.
But
Did we just become best friends?
But
Yep.
we appreciate you guys listening. And for one last time, you want to tie a bow on this bitch?
Bye.
Bye. See you next time, buddies.